That's Foals, headlining the Reading Festival earlier this year. A performance that inspired one reviewer to name them as the definitive festival headliner. Foals is due to return to New Zealand, headlining the Golden Lights Festival on January 4th at Auckland's Outer Fields at Trust Stadium. We caught up with guitarist Jimmy Smith to find out what to expect from their set and what keeps them on the road.
Yeah, no, we love touring, certainly New Zealand and Australia. It's great because I feel like being Brits, I don't know, like the crowds seem the way they react seems kind of similar to like the British crowds, which is nice.
Right.
But in like a slightly, more tropical setting.
Exactly. Yes, it will be January and it will be warm here, hopefully.
Yeah, great.
So we'll see what happens. I see somewhere somebody has described you guys as the definitive festival headliner. Did you see that?
I didn't see that, but they need to get a pay rise, whoever said that.
So I was right after, I think you did the Reading Festival or something recently.
Oh yeah.
So do you guys, and you're doing a festival here as well in Auckland. So do you approach festival gigs differently than your regular headlining shows?
Yeah, I think so. I think because you realize you're playing to probably a lot of people who've never heard you before.
Right.
So you'll kind of be more likely to do a sort of greatest hits kind of thing.
Right.
Or try to at least. And then normally you're playing for not as long. It's usually like an hour or something at a festival. So you have to kind of squeeze it all in. Whereas at your own show, you can play around a bit more with the set list and you can put some like hidden gems in there for the super fans. Yeah.
Yep. And do you kind of check out what other bands and acts are playing around you and during the festival?
Yeah. We're sort of stand with our arms folded, kind of checking out the competition.
And have you ever been intimidated by the competition?
Oh yeah. Oh lordy, so many times. It's normally when you make the mistake, like if you are headlining a festival, you make the mistake of watching the show before.
Right.
The people who are on before you, and that's happened twice. Well, I think once in Spain, Spain and Portugal, these both happened, and one was Tame Impala.
Oh, right.
And we just got back from like dinner or something, and we were driving up the hill. It was this big festival in Bilbao, and I was like, oh, I'll hop out of the van. Like the rest were going up to the dressing room to get ready for the show, and I was like, oh, I'll just catch the end of Tame Impala's set. And oh my god, it's like they had this enormous crowd and like the palm of their hands. They were amazing, and I remember like. I sort of talked to them afterwards. And I was like, "Oh, I don't really want to follow that. If I'm being honest, that's not really fair." And then in Portugal, Ty Seagal blew us off the stage. Just blew everybody off the stage. And he even broke a string and tuned it and put a new string on while he was still playing his guitar. And he didn't have any roadies, and it was just like, oof, got schooled.
No, that's pretty cool. So you come away with a bit of a lesson after that, I would imagine. It's like.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it like keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, right. So how's the band doing? The last time you were in Auckland, I think it was like 2019 at the town hall. So everybody's been through a mess of things since then, and I'm sure you guys have as well. You've been doing some shows leading up to this, and you're kind of in between. So, and you put "Life Is Yours" out in 2021, and "Life Is" dubbed last year. So. What's the status of the band? What are you feeling like you guys are? Are you different than you were last time we saw you? Are you in a particular place to do something else?
Well, I think the core of the band's always going to be the same, like the core energy powering the thing.
Right.
But I think like everyone else, we've all been through this like what seems like a really pretty crazy few years, and I can't even. My biggest problem is I don't know when anything happened. Like you said, the album came out in 2021. I was like, did it? Like God, I thought it. It's like I can't get the years straight anymore.
Yeah. I only know because I wrote it down.
I should start doing that. But we're still the same, and this is the end of our campaign for Life Is Yours. So these will be the last shows of the world tour,
right?
What was left of it, and and I think we're going to wind down a little bit next year, take a lot of time off, have a bit of life, let life back in a little bit, and see what comes out of that, and certainly probably start, writing a new record.
Right. Yeah. And you guys, before you go and write a new record, do you have like band discussions of your direction or what kind of things you want to do or not do?
Yeah, I think so. Normally, it's like, because we're always, not fed up after a long tour, but we're sort of like, okay, like enough's enough. Let's go.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's go remind our girlfriends who we are. And then you'll get the texts will start flying, being like, oh, just been thinking about the next record, and then they'll be like, a cigarette and a pint, and there'll be like, it's all kind of micro discussions between members, and it kind of builds, and then it slowly forms like a loose. It's always quite a loose concept.
Right.
I think it's pretty much impossible to go in and write to a decided concept. I mean, it's really quite a hard thing to do. So I don't know if we've got quite that level of restraint yet, but we'll set some sort of
yeah
vague borders.
Now, getting back to your show that you're going to do here in Auckland. So since you've been here like 3 or 4 times already, but it is a festival, so you're playing to possibly some people don't know you, but you're also going to be playing to people who've seen you multiple times. So what can we expect from the set from you with that in mind?
Well, like I said, I think we're going to probably try and go for some sort of greatest hits thing.
Right.
And we'll put, there's always songs that we have to play. I think it wouldn't really be a Foals show without we call them like the pillars of the set, and they hold the whole thing up. And then we'll try, because it is the Life Is Yours tour. We'll try and put as much of that in as possible. It depends how long we've got.
Right.
I do hope it's longer than an hour. An hour and 15 is kind of perfect because you can do quite a lot with that. An hour gets a bit tricky. Certainly with 7 albums as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, when you started the band off, was back in like 2005, did you see yourself ever being at this point where you've got this catalog of 7 albums you have to choose from?
No, definitely not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you'd like to think, but that would be, I think it'd be sort of false hope back then.
Right.
Assuming you're going to be that successful. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we always thought we'd make a lot of records, but I think nobody in the band could possibly have imagined that we'd still be doing this well this far into it.
Right. So was there a point when you're like, oh my God, looks like this is actually working and it's going to be who I am for the foreseeable future?
Well, yeah. Well, it's funny because it all comes in incremental steps, and there's these, so you get like your first record deal, and that's such a big deal. I mean, that's like that. Yeah. That is probably the single most life-changing moment where you realize, like, oh, like this is my job. Like this can be my job, even though it's not a job. But
it's a
and then then you release your first record, and then there's all these steps where it's just, and it that keeps on going. It's just not quite as big as steps these days, but I think I don't know. It's like there isn't really a plan to any of it. I guess it's just I think it's good to keep it surprising and not be too ambitious.
Yep. And of course, the record business has changed immensely since 2005 when you got your deal. Do bands even get deals anymore? I mean, is that a thing?
They get horrible deals.
Yeah.
I think the only deals on the table now are pretty awful. Luckily, that's another thing. It's like, we've been going quite a long time now. I think like over 15 years. It's like we've survived so many major shifts in the industry. And I was thinking this morning, actually, like I do wonder like whether we would survive the current music industry if we were starting now, with all the TikTok stuff and all it's just so different.
Yeah.
But thank God we don't need to rely on a record label. We don't need to rely on anyone, really. We could do it all ourselves.
Right. Do you like doing it yourselves, or
No, not really. Well, I mean, at the beginning, absolutely, because it's the most exciting thing you could possibly do. But now I think it would. I mean, certainly logistically, it would be like an office job.
Yeah.
But I would like to take the dependence off others away. I think that the longer you go, streamlining is quite a good idea. And I think look, having being around for a while, it's like you could be quite proud of your decisions. You could be like, okay, like we actually, we did good.
Yep.
So we should be proud of ourselves. Yeah.
That's right. And that probably helps keep the band together when you're all kind of going, we didn't mess up.
Yeah. Or if we did, we found out a good way to get out of it.
Right. Now I got to ask you, because I saw your show back here in 2013 at the town hall where Giannis was engaging with the security guard there. Do you remember that show?
Oh yeah, on the balcony, I believe. Yeah.
Does that happen often, or was that a one-off?
On that particular tour, around the Holy Fire and What Went Down tours, that happened almost nightly.
Right.
Not so much anymore. we haven't played a room with a balcony for a while.
Right.
I don't know how keen he is to keep throwing himself off them.
Yeah.
Maybe, the older you get, the more you value your limbs, I think.
You'd like to think so.
Yeah.
And of course, speaking of older, I mean, Keith Richards just turned 80 today. So,
I know, yeah.
what do you think when you see the things like that? Do you imagine yourself being able to do it forever?
Yeah, certainly making music. Absolutely, I think I'll be making music in some form or other until the line goes flat.
Right.
But I don't know about touring.
Yeah.
You've got to really love it to keep doing it like that. I think yeah, the music will continue on. But yeah, I was watching that video of him when there's like a stage invader and he smacks him around the head with
Oh,
his
isn't that a
guitar.
beaut?
So that's so good with all the balloons, like Mick's dressed up like a clown and all the balloons are coming. It's like a kids' party, and there's just this this sledgehammer of a guitar. Yeah, I love Keith Richards. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, I actually think he's sounding better now than he has in quite a while. So I got
Yeah,
credit.
yeah, I want some of what he's having.
Well, yeah, I didn't constant drip, I think, is what he's having of whatever he's got.
I think so. Yeah, probably.
He almost died when he was down here. He fell out of a coconut tree in Fiji or something, and he had
Oh yeah, he
rushed
did.
to the
Yeah,
hospital here in Auckland, and they saved him. So
it's ironic that nearly finished him off, considering all the other risks he's taken. Anyway,
exactly, but you can't be too careful.
no.
All right. Well, when you're down here, stay out of the trees if you can, because we'd like.
Yeah, I will.
Very good. But thanks for talking to me, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys. Geez, it's not too far away. It's only a couple of weeks now, isn't it?
Couple of weeks. Yeah, looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
All right. Well, have a good holiday, and if you get one at
Yeah,
all,
you too.
then you'll be flying around all over the place. So,
Yeah.
better you than me.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
We'll see you. Bye bye.